don't want to shut it down where like she don't feel comfortable enough to talk to me because she may think I'm being closed-minded. But like I'm not used to. Like my daughter, we was in a car just randomly talking one day, and she was telling me about her friend, her best friend. At the time, you know, every little kids, everybody their best friend. She was like, she bi. I said, say what? Right. 5th grade. 4th grade. I'm like, your friend bi? Yeah. Right. So, how you know?
5th grade.
You know that you bi. But then in that interview, Charlamagne had asked like, at what age do you know? And they flipped on him and was like, what kind of question is that? Like, why should we have to tell you what age? Like, at what age did you know you were a man? And he was like, I mean, he didn't really have I just knew. So they was like, okay, so it's crazy for you to ask us at what age because there's not necessarily people will give you. But they were like, it's the same thing. Like,
the moment of clarity for them.
There was like, for some people, that's just not an answer because you just know you. I mean, I don't know. So I was just like, okay, I'm listening to it, but
see, I think it's good to understand, get understanding, because what happens is people can neglect people, or we neglect them, and sometimes we dismiss what people really feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that what people really feel, isn't true or whatever. I'm just saying that when you talk about when you use that word condition, that's the perfect word. Like my homeboy told me one time, he was like, you know, the world can't accept what is not conditioned to accept. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's 2019. Let's just use 10 years ago. The difference. Okay, let's go 10 years before that.
The difference.
Oh, that's
the difference.
That's the start difference.
You know what I'm saying?
10 years ago is when they started conditioning us for it, which is what I was saying earlier, because I can remember in school girls coming out, and it was more so harder for the guys to come out, but it was easier for the girls to come out. You understand what I'm saying? And then fast forward a little bit, you get out of school, and then now our kids are watching TV shows that have
it's like every TV
guys
show
kissing guys, or you know what I mean. And
but you know, I think it's even beyond that. I don't even know I don't think what it is it has roots in, I guess, homosexual activity, but I think it's also just with the whole sexual aspect, period. So what happens is, okay, I want to break it down like this because I want to try to make it to where people can kind of understand where I'm coming from. There are different things that trigger certain responses that people may have, whether they go down the lane of, you know, being gay, or whether they go down maybe the lane for bestiality. But I think there's a root. And so what happens is, I think there's exposure to certain things, and not even go further than saying spirit, that people are exposed to, and then it has some type of effect on them. So all right, let me say this. So what happens is, going back to the condition thing, things are all like you were saying, sexualized. Sex sells, everything, you know.
Right.
So when you're dealing with things where sex sells, it's also lust. Right? And so, you know, lust is one of those things that you really can't keep contained.
Okay.
Right? So what happens? So let's not even go to the homosexual part. What happens to the guy or girl that has sex with numerous people? At some point, that sensation is not satisfying no more. So now we got to try something different. So now let's go down this lane. And so then at that point, that might not be satisfying enough. So let me go down this lane.
Sound like drugs.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's what I'm saying.
Love is a
it
drug.
is. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is that there are people who have been down these different lanes, and then what happens is they're influenced or influencing others. So think about this, right? What would make let's take Hollywood, they talk about this Me Too movement. Guys, directors, producers or whatever, actresses coming in, they just beating off. You heard about this, right? No? About what's the major guy? White guy. Like, he was inviting the women over. Just beating his dick. It was like, you know what I mean? Like, these are the people producing movies. You know what I'm saying? So, if you can have a guy that's doing stuff like that, behind the camera, he's behind the camera. He has an influence on what we see and receive in our mind, right?
Yeah.
And so things we get exposed to things. Sometimes, as adults, we might be more conscious of. We can kind of notice it, but children, they're not. Like, I think back in the day, with even Lion King, I remember seeing like one that said when I think Mufasa or one of them, he flopped down on like the cliff. The dust spelled sex and I don't know if it's true. Maybe y'all can go back and look.
That was Simba.
Simba, whoever it was, when he flopped down, the dust formed the word sex.
You know, man, you have to watch this again.
I'm saying this. I remember hearing about this, and so what I'm saying is, kids get exposed to things. So, all right, I'm going back to conditioning again. So, right, we're not able to accept what we're not conditioned to, and what has to be normalized.
Right.
So my point is, if they make it to where you can't say anything about the LGBTQ plus community, right? Because if you say something about them or against them, then you're hateful, blah blah blah. Okay, so what happens? Because this is 2019.
Right.
We didn't think this would ever be here in 2000 or 1995 or 90. Okay, so what happens 10 years from now when they normalize pedophiles? Because it's coming.
Pedophilia.
Yeah, they already tried it.
But it's it's kind of bad now. It's a kickback because it's children. But I believe in 10 years, it's definitely going to be normalized. Because think about this. Think about the language. They say, well, what age did you feel this way? Why are they asking that question? Why are they asking what age did you feel you were this or you felt like a girl? What age? What age? It's always what age. You know what I'm saying?
Because age is in everything you do. You gotta think about it.
Right.
Age is when you drink
or when
alcohol.
certain things are acceptable.
Age is when you drive.
They're trying to bring condition you to bring
that makes sense.
That age back. Think about this. Think about the number of people now that's in support of gay pride, LGBTQ, and then they're taking the kids to parades. D Wade them took his son to a parade. Oh, why? Okay, he identifies as that, but now he's in a parade with other grown gay people, and they're
basically they're growing the community, and they're making it easy for a child, and it's sad in a way because, as a kid, you can remember thinking this way one day, and the next day your mind and flip to this, that, and the third. So it's like, as a child, how do you know? And so I think with people who are not in that lifestyle or don't have, or that's not even a part of their life, we don't know how to accept, okay, I knew as a child, because you can think back to when you were a child, you didn't know what was going on from day to day, or this was happening and that was happening. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, it's crazy. All of this is crazy, but
I got a question.
I feel like it's bad. I feel like it's wrong to where we're exposing our kids. I do believe in a freedom for everybody else, but I don't feel like you should force it.
Right.
You know, if I don't want to teach this in my home, and I've always said this since the beginning, if I don't want to teach this in my home and I don't want my child to know that, let that be what I choose to be. And yeah, it may seem like you're spreading hate, but no, it's giving people a choice. You're giving these people a choice to decide whether they want to be a male or a female, right, or they want to be this or they want to be that.
They're trying to take away your choice.
Why not give me my option to make sure that my child is not open to those things, or that it's not forced down their throat, that they have to accept X, Y, and Z? Because
that's my thing. Like, I feel like I hate the fact that they ask for all this respect and all this acceptance, and then it's like, forget what you feel, or you know what I'm saying, like you said,
it's
like,
not a two-way street,
right? Like, don't push certain things on every single person. Like, that's not everyone's belief,
exactly.
And there has to be a balance somewhere,
right?
Because like, I've had to have a conversation with my child way before I was prepared to. Like, because my thing is, like, it's hard for me to have a conversation about something I don't understand.
I feel it exactly.
And it's not because I choose to be ignorant. It's just,
how do you address it?
It's not my lifestyle. And it's not that I don't accept people. Because I have people who I'm cool with that are like that. And I don't love them no less. It's just not the lifestyle I choose to live. It's not how I grew up. And I feel like having to explain it to my child at a very young age. Like, my daughter's watching YouTube. She loves YouTube. And this little boy has a channel, and he had a pocketbook. And she was like, "Mom, ain't that a boy? Why he got a pocketbook?" And I was like, "Oh, Lord."
Right.
Here we go.
You know, so that's like where at first. But like you said, now all these TV shows, like, it's about everyone now has a gay couple, and they showing sexual, same-sex content.
And I think it's wrong that it's made federal that they have to be accepting and they have to show these things.
Right. But you know, I'm like, you know, I don't want to beat it like it's just like a necessarily a gay thing. You got a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. You got to be careful, period, with the whole sex thing in general. Cause let me tell you something. This is, you know, no fluff, right? So
Jesus,
listen,
we ain't ready.
Listen, what I'm saying is, you know, kids get exposed to. You know, now it's more so things on YouTube, these things on TV. But, like, you have to be careful with people around your kids. Like, listen, I was exposed to stuff when, I was young. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, you know, I would tell Bianca, like, no, I remember fingering girls in, like, first grade.
Are you serious?
I remember.
How did you know how to do that?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I was exposed to some things. And
was it in the
household? Was it what?
In the household, outside the household?
I guess out. It wasn't necessarily in. Okay. But you know what I'm saying? But I was saying
it was something he learned way before he should have.
I just learned some stuff, and I just found myself just doing stuff. Like, I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
That's like, crazy. I ain't gonna
listen. I'll take you there. I was shown. The guy showed me like this. He had a girl. This is where you put your.
He showed you.
Yes. Listen, I'm telling you, like.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, I got all of that young. So, like.
It was somebody your parents trusted.
Yeah, it was close to the family. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Like, it ain't just like the gay thing. No. Kids being exposed to things. Yeah, that's why you got to be careful who you let your kids go stay with.
Yes.
Who their friends are. Like, you know, back in the days, your mom, you know.
She didn't play that.
You're like, who is such and such? Who are they? Who their mom and daddy?
Yes.
You know, stuff like that, you know, we get on our nerves because we're young, you know, we don't know no better.
Don't understand.
But you have to be careful because you never know what your kid can get exposed to in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
You don't understand that thing until I think you become a parent, because I didn't understand it when I was younger, but my baby don't go nowhere.
Right.
She ain't going nowhere. Like, and even then, listen, you can come over, but go.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? There's certain kids that you be like, yeah, okay with, but Listen, I ain't fooling with everybody, kid. Like, I'll never forget this time my daughter put me on the spot. And she was like, yo. And even though it was something minute to her, she was coming from a place of innocence. But she just tried to put me on the spot and was like, yo, can you take all of us swimming? And I'm like, yo, no, hold up. First of all, I don't do other people's kids. Second of all, I don't do other people's kids in water.
Yeah.
Cause I don't want to have to explain something. Yo, such and such happened at the pool. I don't know how to tell another parent that. I don't know how to. How do you begin to say something happened to your baby? You understand? While they were with me and mine, I don't know how to say that.
Yeah.
It's best for your parent to be with you.
Yeah.
And not be without you. You understand what I'm saying? Like I had to break it down to it. Like, yo, don't pump the brakes.
So yeah, you know. Kids, man, you know, you gotta be careful what they get exposed to. It ain't just the gay thing; it could be the heterosexual thing. Yeah. And it's just being exposed to all those things, different people with these different spirits, and
you know, you're right. And this crazy thing is, no matter how much you try to shelter your kid, if you do try to do that, like today, I got a report that my daughter lost a point for being disrespectful to others, and I was like, my daughter? So I messaged the teacher like, you mean she was specifically being disrespectful to others? And the one comment that struck me from her teacher was basically, she didn't do nothing major, but she said it seems like Jada in class and Jada at recess is two complete different people. And I'm like, what you mean by that? But the people she's exposed to in class and her friends who are other classrooms that she gets with their recess, I'm like, and I had to have that conversation with her, like, it's no different than Ilya at work and Ilya with her friends.
Right.
So I understood what she was trying to say to me, though. Well, that's just the real me during recess. Right. But I'm like, what are y'all doing that makes her feel like you are disrespectful? Like, you know, you get other people's kids that come from different homes and different spirits.
And you don't know where they...
Exactly, right? So I've heard my daughter say things, I'm like, yo, where are you getting that from? So it ain't but so much sheltering that you can do, but you got to set a very good, strong foundation with your kids. That's true.
I will agree.
Yeah. Also, I mean... I go there. You gotta pray for your kids, pray over your kids before they go to school, man. Cause listen, when they go to school,
it's a whole new different ball field.
It's like I'm free, you know what I'm saying, for a little while. And like you said, when they get around them other kids, you don't know how they transform. Like, you know, you get around your friends.
I'm trying to go visit Jada during recess, so I can see what kind of Jada she is.
Like,
I popped up. We had lunch today. Stop playing. What?
Right.
I do the pop-ups.
You got to.
Because you don't know. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is my daughter's in a whole brand new school this year. I want to know about who her friends are. I want to know about what's the conversation at lunch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who this kid? Oh, okay. I know your mama. So, okay, so I can, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we did that, and we does that. The next stop is the classroom, because you got to know what the teacher doing too.
Right.
Because we need to stop just acting like it's just all the kids.
Maybe 3 years ago, at Bianca School, there was a guy. I want to say he was either watching child porn or at work, or he had it on his computer at work. It's an elementary school. At an elementary school, white dude. Look it up. Wilburn Elementary.
I went there.
Wilburn Elementary, the white guy. For child porn.
And he teaches kids.
And he teaching kids.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's a scary thing, right? So you don't know. You think your kid's safe at school, and you don't know what's happening. You don't know. Putting my kid into
it's a creep. Yeah.
Right. Listen, that's
crazy.
Scary.
Yeah.
So no kids. I'm straight.
Safe.
I'm good. Like I'm just reminded
it's
tonight.
Stressful. I've lost some nights of sleep.
Yeah,
Didn't know what to do with my child one night. Listen, you know, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It goes behind parenting.
Whew, that part.